everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a thrift flip. I have been saving so many pieces of clothing from the thrift store for a while now, and I've kind of gathered up enough that I feel like I probably should do a thrift flip. Yeah, it's about time. I haven't used my sewing machine since high school, so I will be a little bit rusty, but you know, don't judge. Anyways, if you don't have a sewing machine, that is okay, because I will tell you alternate ways you can do this thrift flip, or some of them you won't be able to. I'm really awkward. Okay, so for this thrift flip, I still can't say it. This thrift flip, I will be doing all tops. I will be doing 2 sweaters, 2 t-shirts, and 1 tank. So a total of 5 items I will be showing you. So this will be 5 different ways you can actually thrift flip a t-shirt or a sweater or yada yada yada. Yeah. I'm just gonna be showing you 5 ways you can make your thrift store clothes a lot better. And this is mainly for people who live in small towns and they say their thrift stores suck. You know, grandma clothes again, right? This way you will be able to make cool or hip or spiffy clothes from your grandma thrift stores. Anyways, let's just get into the thrift flip.
Okay, so before we start the first thrift flip, I'm going to show you how I made the graphics that I put on some of the pieces that I make today before we get into any of the actual thrift flipping. So I'm going to show you the most complicated way to do it first, and then the easiest way to do it. I did the most complicated way, so I'm just going to briefly show you before I jump in on how you will probably do it. But yeah, I went into Adobe Illustrator and I designed all my graphics on there, and then eventually I went to my Cricut and I cut them out with vinyl. Like, I put the iron on vinyl and I got them cut out, so then I just had my graphics cut out that way. This way I was able to really cut out exactly what I wanted, exact font, everything, just, you know, how I wanted it to look. But you probably don't have Adobe Illustrator or a Cricut like this fancy machine cutting out my thing right now. You probably don't. So what you're going to be doing is probably going to your local Joann's or Michael's and buying on the iron-on letters. These are perfectly fine. I actually use the Cooper Black that you see right there in some of my thrift flips, so it will end up looking the same, so don't you worry. Okay, let's jump into the first thrift flip. This thrift flip is going to be for a tank that I thrifted for like $2. I really liked the black trim on it, but it's not my size, so it is a bit large, so we will be fixing that later. But right now, I'm going to just start off with putting this graphic I designed. It just says, eat more plants, because I think that everyone should be eating more plants, and I surely do not eat enough plants like I should. I thought it'd be just a fun thing, I don't know, to put on a shirt. Why not? So yeah, I made that graphic, I cut them out in my Cricut as you saw, and yeah, I just picked all the little vinyl pieces out, and then now I'm just ironing it onto the shirt. When you iron it on, you want to hold it down probably for like 15 to 30 seconds, and then move it, and keep doing that until it's actually like glued onto the shirt. And then once that's all good, you can peel it all back like I'm doing here, but be very careful, because you do not want to pull up any letters. If it does start to pull up, put the sticky thing back on and iron it more. And then right here, I'm just doing like a triple check. Just put some like parchment paper on there and just making sure it's all, you know, stuck on there. Okay, so this is what the shirt looks like now. You can see it is large on me. I want it to be more fitted just because it does look very awkward underneath the armpits. So I'm just measuring how much I want to take in on each side. I do have like the sewing gauge. I don't think you'll have that, but a ruler will work perfectly fine. And then I just flipped it inside out the shirt, and then I'm just taking that sewing gauge and just marking where I want to sew the seam, the new seam. Not doing it like probably the way you should be doing it, just putting some pins in just to keep the fabric there so I don't get any bunched up edges on the seam. But yeah, I'm just doing it, you know, the fastest way. I'm kind of lazy, so. And then yeah, here's me just, you know, sewing up my bobbin, because I haven't sewed in so long, so I don't have any bobbins already pre-done with the, you know, the right thread. Okay, and now I am just sewing the side. Remember to do, a back stitch at the beginning and the end so the seam doesn't come apart. That is one thing I always remember to do, sewing 101. Okay, and then I'm just trimming it. I do not have a serger to finish the edge, and I was lazy that I didn't want to do a zigzag on the end, so I'm just trimming it and just hoping for the best that it won't unravel. It is like a stretchy knit material, so I highly doubt that it will fray on the ends or fray a lot like a cotton shirt. So I am just leaving it and just trimming it close to the actual seam. And then I am just flipping it inside out to see how it looks, and ta-da! It is completely done, and it is fitted to me. So this is what it looked before, and this is what it looks like now. Okay, on to thrift flip number 2. We are going to be doing a long sleeve polo. I think I thrifted this for a few dollars, but it's nice and wide on me, so I thought it'd be a great crop. So I'm actually just cropping it, no sewing in this thrift flip. But we're going to start with, spicing it up a bit. We're going to put this graphic that I made. It just says, "This is my thrifting shirt," because I didn't have a thrifting shirt, so I had to make a thrifting shirt, that I thrifted. First thing we're going to do is flip it over. And we're just going to hold down the iron on it from 15 to 30 seconds. And then you're going to pick it up and then move it in a different position and keep doing that until, the letters are stuck on there. They always say it's 15 to 30 seconds, but it's always longer. So it might take you a few minutes to get that stuck on there. Then there you go. You just want to peel it up. Make sure you're not peeling any letters up. And there you go. Bob's your uncle. Okay. And then now we're going to crop it. So how we're going to crop it is you're going to put it on. And you want to wear some high-waisted pants, or the pants you'd wear with the crop shirt, and just figure out where you want it cropped. And either put a needle. I actually don't recommend putting a needle in there. Or, the smart way is to put a safety pin there and just mark it off. What we're going to do is just crop it along that line. Make sure you use a nice pair of sharp scissors, or even better, fabric scissors to cut this shirt, because you won't really be able to cut it with the old pair of scissors. You want good scissors to cut these shirts. And then once it's all cut, you want to pull it like what I'm doing right now, just to get that kind of curled edge so it doesn't look too rough at the bottom. And there you go. So this is what the shirt looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. Okay, now thrift flip number 3. For this one, I thrifted this beautiful crew neck, and it is my favorite color, so I decided to make the graphic say this color is my favorite color, because why not? I am just ironing it on like I've done in the last few thrift flips that I've just shown you. This sweater is very thick, so I ended up just opening up the sweater and just, putting the iron inside the shirt, so I just got, 1 layer of fabric and not 2. And yeah, this one was actually pretty quick to iron on just because it was so small, the graphic. Okay, so now for the cropping of the sweater. I am not going to crop it just with scissors. I'm actually doing a sewing cropping technique. I want to keep the band on the sweater. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the band higher up on the sweater. So I am just picking a point where I want the band. I marked it off after I put it on where I want it to be. And then I am just measuring it with my sewing gauge and seeing how long it is from the seam down to the bottom, and then just pinning it all the way around the sweater. If that doesn't make sense, just watch what I'm doing, and hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so now for the fun part. I am going to be sewing it all together. I was a little nervous for this part, but don't worry, it turns out amazing. And if you're wondering where I'm sewing it on the sweater, I'm actually sewing it on the seam of the band of the sweater. That makes sense. I don't show it very closely, but on the next thrift flip, you will see very closely on where I sew this, because I do this technique twice. I'm doing it in my next sweater on my thrift flip for the Levi sweater that you may or may have seen in my past thrifting adventures. Yeah, I'm doing a thrift flip on that one. That beauty. I know a whole bunch of people told me don't crop it, but I didn't listen and I did it anyways. And then once that's all done, what you want to do is you're going to want to check, make sure, okay, does it look right? Okay, don't trim anything until you know that it actually is good and looks right. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm like, ooh, looks good. Looks so fancy. Did a little praise. I was so excited. I am just trimming it all the way up to the seam, and there you go. You don't even know, or you can't even notice that I actually sewed this myself. So this is what the sweater looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. Okay, now on to the Levi sweater, thrift flip number 4. So I'm not doing any graphics on this one. I'm simply just sewing the band to crop it. So I'm doing the exact same thing before, where I'm pinning it where I want it to be and taking the sewing gauge and just measuring it along and put those needles in just to keep all the fabric in place. And then once you're done that, you're just gonna want to sew along the seam there on the band. I didn't show it very clearly last time, so both sweaters that you're going to be sewing or whatever you're sewing, sew along the band. Sorry, that sounded very aggressive. Please sew along the band. I don't know if that sounded better, but I do not mean to be aggressive. Okay, so now we are just gonna trim all that excess fabric off. This is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. And for my final thrift flip number 5, I am, spicing up this beautiful kind of orangey shirt. And yeah, I'm just ironing this on. You're supposed to, I believe, use like an actual towel, underneath the iron to protect the shirt, but I did not. So be smart and use like another piece of fabric or a thin towel between your shirt and the iron. But if you're, risky like me or lazy, then don't. But don't blame me that you ruined your shirt. So yeah, just held it on there, and then there you go. It's stuck on eventually after like 500 hours, but there you go. So I am just cropping this shirt once again, like the other shirt I did. and I'm just pinning it to, you know, get the right length after I put it on. Make sure you have high-waisted pants or the pants you want to wear with your crop shirt. And I just pinned it where I wanted to, and I'm just cutting it just below the actual pin, not above. You know, I always want to be on the side of caution. Do not want to cut it too short. Don't want to cut it too short. Rather have it a bit longer, and then I can crop it even more. The worst thing you can do is crop it too short. Oh my gosh, too short, and then you can't wear it because it's like a bra. And then I am just pulling the bottom of the fabric to get a nice roll edge at the very bottom. And there you go. This shirt is done. Like, look how simple that was. It looked so freaking cute. So this is what it looked like before. And this is what it looks like now. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram to see how I style all of these pieces.
And we are done. We are finished. We just thrift flipped 5 different tops, sweaters, tanks, t-shirts, whatever you want to call it. We just did that, and I am so proud of myself because I thought this was gonna be a big fail. I'm joking. I actually knew I was gonna do amazing in this just because I did do so much sewing and so much textile stuff in high school, so I just had to, you know, remember all of it. I really liked this thrift flip. It was so fun to do, and I really hope that you enjoyed it too. If you did like this thrift flip, be sure to let me know down in the comments below and tell me which item you liked the best, or just tell me if you liked it or not, or what you liked, or what do you want to see next, or what, I don't know, what do you want to see? Anyways, I can't wait to wear them and style them, so be sure to follow me Instagram at Jenna Phipps so you don't miss out any of those styling of these clothes, yeah. If you want to see me style them, just follow me on Instagram and they'll be there in my feed somewhere. Anyways, for the last time, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed making it, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.